Hey, so in this week's video, like last week, I'm working on a cover for another one of my comics. Um, an issue when I can work on them is I'll just kind of jump from project to project. So a lot of the time I'll be working on 3 or 4 things at once, just little bits and bobs. And when I get them done, it's timed weirdly, which is why I have both of these done for it. I ended up the video cutting out like a decent chunk of this because I recorded all this sketching, except that I have a nice new non-photo blue color ace, and well, it doesn't really show up on camera. Imagine that. So that kind of looked rather, well, boring. So I just cut all of it out and went straight to the inking. And decided to keep the cover relatively simple. I was very tempted to draw them in their superhero outfits because this is I guess I should probably talk about my comic and thing about my comic. So Mask and Cape started out as a bunch of superhero tropes just kind of thrown together because they were fun to play around with, and ended up developing a much more complex plot afterwards. So it went from just a bunch of superhero tropes and, well, more slice of life like WKT to something with more of a through arc story throughout all of it, connecting the characters together. And it's kind of my baby. Anyways, so for the first issue, which is 16 pages, they are currently posting on the Tumblr I have set up for it, link down below for that, and it is a bit of setup for the rest of the major plot, and it's pretty much the condensed origin stories for Sparkle and Chartreuse, 2 of the main trio that, well, the plot on all is kind of focused on. The other one was their brother Fred, but his little origin part didn't fit in, so he will be showing up next issue instead, because it works better that way. And so they are, well, again, it's origin story, so it's, oh look, there's stuff. But the thing is, they don't have costumes yet or anything, so it's drawing them in their costumes would have been, I don't know, just kind of felt disingenuous. So I just kind of drew them looking at stuff. I figured that was the most accurate representation of what it contained. I also kept the coloring very simple because for comics that I've colored digitally, I've done, I have the first QIT, which is kind of a mess. A lot of it is very much sentimental value that I like about it. And that's mostly fully shaded, but when I started working on the pages for issue 2 of that and coloring in Mask and Cape, realized that I didn't want to deal with that. And since I was at the time posting them weekly as I finished the pages, which I've discovered is not how I prefer to work on comic stuff, I just kind of get a pile of pages done and then color all of them and then set them up to post, as opposed to doing it one at a time. I just don't work well that way. And to keep, time-wise for that, I just did flat color and realized that I actually like the look of it compared to it. So there isn't really any shading in the comic itself, so I decided to keep that on the cover to keep the style a little more consistent, since mine has evolved a little bit since I drew it. And so I just figured I would, just do flat color and then just white on the background and keep it very nice and simple. And yes, here it is completed. And yeah, that's about it really. Thanks for watching. I have links to all my other stuff down below if you're interested.